All right, hi guys. This is Sheena from Atlas Agency Launch Lab, co-founder of Atlas Online Solutions and co-creator of Atlas Agency Launch Lab here again to discuss many of your frequently asked questions. So I created a post the other day and I told you, I said, I want to hear from you. And I asked you guys to ask me a bunch of your questions. And so many of you asked me questions, and most of them were about lead generation. Now, lead generation is so hard for a lot of us, especially if we're just starting out. When you're more established, most of the time you find that you've, put it on autopilot, things going smoothly, and you're kind of good to go. But while you're still getting set up, while you're still getting to that point before you scale, getting clients is really, really hard at times. It feels like it's just never ending. You're always prospecting. You're always going on and on and doing things. Prospecting is one of the key stages of the sales process. Yet sometimes it's the hardest part for us. And there's a recent report by HubSpot that says that 42% of sales representatives and agency heads named prospecting as the most challenging part of the sales process. So why is it so challenging? Why do we all struggle with it so much? Let's admit it. Prospecting is not quite as exciting as closing a deal. Therefore, it's often postponed for when all the important things are done. But without a sales pipeline full of good quality leads, no other new sales are going to happen. And that's why it's crucial to understand that prospecting kickstarts the entire sales. And it determines to a great extent whether or not the deal is going to be sealed. Therefore, you might want to call it the most important thing that you could be doing. The math is simple. The more prospects you generate, the more chances to close a sale you have, as every prospect equals an opportunity. Before we talk about smart ways to prospect, let's take a quick look at how the prospecting game has changed in the last 2, 3, 5 years. All right. The new reality is that clients take over the sales process. Today's clients have become very independent and are often playing hard to get. Oh, 1 minute. John is trying to join us. Yay, John's going to join us. All right. So let's keep talking for a minute. Clients are becoming hard to get. So before they commit to a discovery call, clients are doing a little bit of prospecting of their own. A few years ago, a study by CSO Insights said that 45%, that's almost half of all prospects, admitted that they wanted to evaluate their needs and look for solutions themselves before contacting any agency. And today, the situation is rather similar. 1 second. Give me a moment. I'll try and let John in. He's struggling to get in. His technology is playing up. Do you know what? I feel like every single time we go live, there's some tech gremlin thing. All right, hopefully he can get in now. Oh, there he is. There we go. We did it. Hi, John.
Sorry about that. The tech gremlins strike yet again. They know they seek out the IT person and they give them absolute HE double hockey sticks. So that's
every time.
Well, sorry about that. I'm here.
Okay. We're talking about the fact that these days it's a little harder to prospect than it used to be because clients are now playing hard to get.
That's true.
And before considering a purchase, a B2B buyer spends a meager 17% of their time meeting with sellers. When comparing offers, they only spend 5 to 6% of their time actually talking to a sales representative. So they're doing a lot of work before they decide whether or not to get on a call with you. So how do they get information about your products? And you guessed it right. They search the internet.
They do. They search. They narrow down what their need is very specifically. And gone are the days maybe, and maybe this never happened, but gone are certainly the days of, I need a CRM system. I don't know where to start. well, that's, and then you get inundated with stuff. No, it's
Yeah.
more like I need a CRM, and I've heard a lot about through any number of various channels, these 2 or 3 or 4 of them. So I'm going to go research them specifically.
Yeah.
So,
94% of
or
buyers
whatever.
actually use the internet to make their own research before they make a purchase. And on average, it takes 11 online searches for B2B buyers before engaging with the brand site. And only 53% of those buyers will talk to you without checking out your social media first.
And it would be interesting to know how that 94% of people searching on the internet, what percentage of that is searching YouTube videos?
There's
or
that.
videos of any kind, and that's, I imagine that's a pretty high number.
Yep. I've got a couple of statistics around that we'll talk about in a minute.
Okay.
But before we do that, let's acknowledge another fact about prospecting. Leads just won't fall into your lap. You've got to take action for something to happen. Just as you'd block consistent time in your calendar for workouts every day, it's important to book a consistent time in your calendar to prospect every day. And since prospecting isn't always the most fun of activities, booking this time with yourself will go a long way to ensuring that this activity happens on a regular basis.
Yep.
But prospecting is probably one of the most time-consuming and challenging tasks that an agency head faces. And if it's done right, it can be an exciting experience that polishes your sales skills and allows you to find potential clients who are a perfect fit for your services. So let's do a quick recap of 9 prospecting tips that I know I've spoken about in lives before that you'll find inside of my YouTube channel, and you'll find inside the free training that I have available for you guys. So step 1 is to create an ideal client avatar.
Okay. I've learned the value. I mean, I knew it before, but I didn't really realize it until I started hanging around you and your team. That is huge, 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 huge.
Almost every single live I talk about an avatar. You guys are probably getting sick of it, but one of these days it's going to click and you're going to realize why.
That's right.
Step 2 is identify ways to meet your ideal prospects.
Okay.
Start by analyzing where your best clients are. Okay. In most cases, your best clients are probably going to be your most profitable clients, and this will help you single out your most lucrative place to hang out. So first, think of in terms of their digital presence, which social media channels or news feeds or other digital publications they're likely to use or visit. For example, if you're in B2B sales, chances are that most of your potential customers are on YouTube and LinkedIn.
Exactly.
Yep. This means you need to build out a very strong presence on both of these platforms.
Okay.
Number 3, actively work on your outreach list. You've got the cold email outreach list that I have spoken to you guys about in my daily prospecting training, and I have given you guys scripts. You probably have lost leads somewhere in your prospecting thing. You have lists. You need to prioritize each list and then take some time to call those people on your list.
Absolutely.
Go
ahead.
Don't underestimate the power of a phone call. It's probably one of my least favorite tasks, but it is the most essential because research shows that 69% of buyers accepted a call from new salespeople, and 27% of sellers admit that making sales calls to new contacts is extremely effective. So that means that 69% of sales happened because somebody picked up the phone and made that phone call.
And not only that, it's a reminder thing. Sometimes we are so inundated with everything going on, and we're trying to keep up with our clients. We're trying to spend time doing sales prospecting. We're trying to do all these things. And something that could be kind of important gets pushed to the back of the burner. It gets pushed to the back burner, I should say. And then all of a sudden you get a phone call from this person just there to remind you because you've reached out somehow before. And so you're kind of taking it to a different level of trying to reach them. And it's a perfect reminder for them. That's a perfectly legitimate sale you might miss otherwise if you're not making that phone call and reminding them.
Yep. All right, my next tip is email. We talked about cold email a little bit just now. There's cold email scripts for you out there. But one thing we don't talk about very lot here is personalized email. Don't think the email as a sales tool is dead. In fact, quite the opposite. It's alive and kicking. 80% of buyers say they prefer to be contacted by sellers via email.
Yeah. So they can, and it's, I don't know, it's kind of it seems like kind of a double-edged sword thing, because everybody's inbox is full.
Yep.
Everybody's inbox is filled with stuff. They're prospected to death from all sorts of things. So in sending that email, you got to stand out. But yet there are people who, that is really the way that they won't respond to, particularly, calls and texts they don't know.
Yeah.
And they won't take those calls, but the email is the way for them to look, semi-anonymously at something they're going to research without sort of tipping the person off. And that's comforting to people.
And they feel a little bit safe. They feel
exactly
safe because there's the screen. Do you know what? Not just, your generic mass email. Hey, hey, this is my service. Can you take more?
Right.
Personalized cold email now run the show with a 26% higher open rate.
Okay.
Yeah. So
how would you go about personalizing that? I mean, what do you mean by personalizing it?
Well, my best practice tips are make sure that the content is personalized to each prospect's needs. Your task is to impress them with how much you know about their company or their industry, and make sure that the content is specific. It addresses the needs and pain points of a particular prospecting pool. In order for your prospects to open and read your email, you need to make sure that your email looks good on mobile devices as well, because more than half of all emails are kind of read on the go. If you're a business owner like myself, you're reading emails on your phone as you're walking from one place to the next.
Right. Or sitting just for a second having coffee wherever you can, and you're not in front of your computer because you don't have to be, so you have just a second, and you're going through this, and you're checking things out. So it's really, it's there's rules that apply to this, but I'm going to get them wrong. But it's really catching somebody like within the first sentence.
Yep.
You have you have like 180 characters to 200. It's like a resume thing. You have so many characters to impress somebody that you are relating to them, and you understand them to get their attention, and then otherwise they move on.
Yeah. And you don't have to go too deep. You don't have to put your investigator hat on and be, what's the Sherlock Holmes and say, oh, I see you have 2 kids and you have this and you have that. You need to know their position in the business, and you need to know the challenges that any person in that business is facing. That can sometimes be personalized enough.
That generally is. If you go too deep in what you're talking about, that gets kind of creepy, and people are really.
It does. Yeah. Yeah. And I see people making that mistake a lot when they personalize an email. Like, hey, so I noticed that last weekend you did this. That must have been awesome. All right. It's usually not going to work as effectively as talking to the pain points of a person in that position. If you want to talk about something very personal, usually I would talk about places they've been featured in or the education. These are usually safe things to talk about. Yeah.
But I mean, I've gotten those emails too that reference one of the colleges I went to. Well, okay, I went to 2. One for undergraduate, one for graduate. So, and they're referencing that, and they're trying to make it almost feels like there's certainly wrong ways to do this, and there are right ways to do it too. But it almost feels like, they just threw that in just to throw it in. Okay, well, I can read my LinkedIn profile too.
Exactly. Yeah. So you've kind of got to find
something a touch deeper, and so what you're talking about, the suggestions for that, really resonate about their business, about what they may be going through.
Yeah.
Or time of year or something. Hey, you're getting ready for the holiday. If it's a retail or something, you're getting ready for holiday rush, or you're getting ready for whatever.
Yeah. But always remember, make sure it's optimized for mobile. Okay. Emails that are optimized for mobile have a 15% higher click-through rate than those that aren't.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Number 5. Sorry. I rushed ahead of myself here. Number 5 is become a subject matter expert. You need to be a trustworthy expert and a provider of all solutions, because 79% of prospects want the agency to be trusted advisors.
That's right.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody about this today, in fact, just getting started in their agency. And they and trying to find, the areas that they're looking to reach out to. This is, I don't want to step on your solution, but I think you're gonna say, because I told them generally what you have come across with as a solution to this, because it really works. So if you want to do the honors, great. If not, I'll do it.
Well, I'm not sure where you're going on that, so I'll say what I'm going to say, and if I didn't say the part that I should have said, you can fill in the gaps.
Okay. Generally said it because I learned from you, so you said it somewhere. So
Perfect. Well, I'm only going to touch on two different things here. One, your potential customers. Everybody likes attention. They like to be taken seriously. And why you need to know a lot, not only about their concerns, but also their victories and their achievements. Research your leads kind of like a detective without being stalkerish, and use that knowledge to reinforce your value proposition. So that's step number one.
That was not, but that does bring something quick to mind just for anecdotal things. I've had a teacher tell me this, the guy that was leading a class around, and he got this from business. He said, treat everybody like they're wearing a sign around their neck that says, make me feel important.
Yep, exactly.
That definitely applies to your prospects, to your clients too. Continue that value. Help them feel appreciated and recognize the things that they're doing, exactly what you're saying, Sheena. And it'll really make a big deal to be that you cared enough to pay that's positive attention. You pay that kind of attention, and it'll catch them off guard at first because it's not what we're used to, but it will grow on them quickly.
Talking about attention, Robert dropped in to say hi. Sheena, it's Robert here watching you live. Hi, Robert. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. Robert, anybody else watching, come over and say hi. All right. So that was my first,
part two there.
That's my first tip. My second one is your own services. All right. Do you know that 54%, now there's a lot of statistics, I have to start writing these down. 54% of prospects want to find out how your service works on the first call. So you need to be ready to discuss the key functionality of your service and the way that it relates to the tangible results that a business owner will receive. All right. Not, hey, we're going to do this and these are all the keywords we're going to use. This is how we're going to know that these are the right keywords and blah, 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 blah. You're going to talk about the fact that very simple, high level view, this is what we're going to do, and this is what it's going to do for your business, and this is the part that you're going to see day in and day out because of what I did for your business.
Especially that last part there is as much or more important than the services you're talking about. And we all tend to, I'm trying to always, this is something for me to try for two things. Number one, never miss an opportunity to mention, to talk about my business or what I do. That's an elevator speech type of thing. And number two, keep it exactly what you're saying, short and concise, and how it's going to, and really speak to how it could affect their business. And once you're armed with that knowledge, you can, I was that same call today, we were talking about sales calls and how to know when you're kind of laying and dealing with imposter syndrome. And I said, whenever you get to the point where you understand your business and you understand how to relate your business to somebody else and how to make it, that it solves problems for them, then you get a position of confidence that you can sort of, pivot and sway with any situation as the sales call comes up. And maybe it goes in a little different direction. Well, you can pivot with that and go with it because you understand what it is that you're offering. And you can know how, and you constantly then your mind just starts thinking about, okay, this is ways that I can apply this to your business and we can make it, we can really make it work for you. It's empowering. It's an empowering feeling.
Yep. All right. So number 6, build out your social media presence. In case you haven't figured it out yet, social media is here to stay. 2 years ago, I would have told you, oh no, you're a serious marketer. You don't need to worry about content marketing, blah, 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 blah. Kind of had to eat my words. And here I am doing it publicly. I was wrong.
Content marketing is one thing. I mean, so the blog, the social media posting, the blog posting thing Facebook and the others are making that harder. Okay. But what is resonating is video and things like this. And constantly there's different now tactics of going about it where you're showing your expertise. Any chance you get for free. So, but then have like a layer in your mind that you'll offer a certain level of expertise for free. And then when it's time, you can take them to they can go to the next level with you and pay.
So he kind of took the words out of my mouth just now.
Sorry.
No, it's good. It's good. You're reinforcing what I'm saying. Google, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. These are all channels that your potential buyers will visit to find information.
Right.
If you're not there, somebody else is, and they're going to take those prospects and run with them. 91% of B2B buyers are now active and involved in social media. Social selling works, and this does not mean posting regularly on your social media will get you leads.
Right.
This means that relevant, current presence on social media will convert leads that you can contact directly after you've given them value, after you've shown them that you're an expert.
And a fair amount of value too. And sadly, the longer we go with this, the more value you have to provide, the more you have to stand out and be a little different. Don't just get on there and say, I'm an expert at this. Actually spend the time to answer you get huge marks from answering somebody's questions and being omnipresent doing that. Before you even post anything about your business, you're going through and answering those questions, and people start to notice you. And you get, like we've talked about at times, and in Facebook in particular, you get badges in certain groups for doing that.
Exactly.
Top contributors, or somebody who's really helpful, or there's any number of there's a handful of them, but they basically show that you are constantly active in that group, providing value, answering questions, interacting with people, and giving them a quality answer for free.
Yeah.
People can search that. All of that is searchable within a group. You can search a group for any topic you want and find somebody, answering a question about it or asking a question about it and see what the answer is.
All right. So those are my top six tips. I'm going to answer your very specific questions right now, and then I'm going to go ahead and give you the opportunity of a lifetime. So stick around. Don't run away. Let's answer some of your questions. First couple were, will this training be live in a group or on Zoom? We are here live every Thursday night Eastern Daylight Time, giving free information. We are live across a multitude of other groups. You can find all of our free trainings on YouTube. If you want something a little bit more specific, I also have free training giveaways that I give away on onboarding. I give away my SOPs. On script writing, I give away scripts. And on client acquisition, I give you guys 25 plus different ways to get new clients. All right. So that's us. Bojan says, I say his name wrong every time. It's actually Boan, and I should just call him Bo. But thank you for not being upset. I do this to your name all the time. He wants to know about cold calling versus email marketing.
Oh, good question. Good question, Bo. I'm not going to go down that road. You know him better than I do.
But, how about can we just leave it at cold calling sucks? No, we can't. All right.
Actually, there is a place, because I go back again to this scenario today, because this person is just getting started, and I don't want to reveal too much personal information about them yet. They'll hopefully tell their story when the time's right. But getting an agency started has cold callers and is trying to do, mix in some cold marketing in addition to cold email marketing, in addition to, stuff like that to kind of get everything set. So I was thinking about and talking to them that there's sort of a time and a place for each of those. And to me, email marketing is, and kind of backing up what you're saying earlier, cold email marketing is better initially. There are, good ways to do it. Try to find the best way you can to be. It's kind of a balance between efficiency, so you can send out several, and the personal approach that we're talking about.
So see, he said, you know what, you can take this one, and then he just gave you guys the answers. So to recap a little bit there, email first. Always email first. Email marketing just runs on the background. So simple. Don't leave it at email.
And try to warm up those calls as best you can. Then when you're ready,
you need more touch points. So I don't know if it counts as a warm call or a cold call. But everybody who's opened up your email, give them a call. Right? If you don't want to sit on the phone and give them calls, guess what? If you use a CRM like High Level, you can actually just do voicemail drops. And they don't know that it's voicemail drops. They think it's a personalized time when you picked up the phone as a digital agency head and said, hey, Mr. Client, I'm in between meetings right now. Notice you interacted with my email. I hope that you found it informative. Because I'm in between meetings right now, I want to see if now is a good time to talk. Give me a call back. Here's my phone number.
And
It's
another cool
personal.
one you can do with it is personal. You're right. You're exactly right. And another thing you can do with Go High Level, with the app of Go High Level, is you can reply with video messages.
Yeah.
So and that works. That if you're on social media, of course, on Facebook Messenger, that particularly works. But you can also do it inside the Go High Level app, where you're replying, "Hey, I just have a sec. Well, here's my phone. I just have a second. I just wanted to drop this video, replying to you because there's, I want to address these things from the emails that I sent, and I know this can really help your, client name business, and we really can, make something happen here. So just want to hit that point real quick. I got to go off to a meeting. We'll see you in a little bit. So
Perfect.
that takes, it takes almost longer to set it up than it does to record the thing. Send it to them, and it comes through their text or their email. It's hosted on, and so all I have to do is click on it, and they're seeing this specialty video message. How cool is that?
That's right. All right. So our next question is how to generate leads. Well, we just touched on 6 broad points, but let's get really specific. Send cold emails, do voicemail drops, do video prospecting, do social media posts, add all of your prospects on LinkedIn. I don't mind if you do it vice versa. If you add them on LinkedIn, then send a message. Whatever you do, be omnipresent. Talk to them everywhere. Make sure you're talking to their pain points. Run ads, right? Build out a niche-specific group. Now, niche-specific group doesn't mean it has to be just for chiropractors. Some people do that. Some people don't. It just needs to be people that fit your avatar. Go live in there. Give away a bunch of free value. Run challenges. Run webinars. Teach them how to do things. Make it sound simple enough that they think they can do it. And when they can't do it, they come to you because you're the expert. All right? Those are just a couple of the very effective ways to get clients. If you want more training, as I put in here is an hour and a half where I do nothing but talk to you about how to get clients. It's on YouTube. All right, go ahead, find Anna's Agency Launch Lab in there. You will find 7 different videos at least where all I talk about is getting clients. All right.
Mm-hmm. And there are ways that, we've been through a lot of training on the internet. We've looked at, in the different groups that we run with. And then I come over here and start, connecting with you guys this summer. And I start seeing new ways that they make an absolute ton of sense, but I hadn't really seen them anywhere else before. And I don't know why, but all the better. So people, come here because Sheena Lee is full of this value that she's, these are different ways, as I'm full of something else, but these are different ways of that make business sense. There's a bunch of ways to prospect. Not every way to prospect makes business sense because you're talking to business owners, right?
Yeah.
So you for example, just real quick, LinkedIn is, people do that and go for the pitch. No, LinkedIn is about the business connection. Use it as such. That's what makes business sense.
I've said this before, and I'm going to tell you guys my favorite way, the best way, the most sales I've ever generated from LinkedIn was by sending a simple message, letting people know that I'm updating my client avatar. Would they be open to a 10-minute call with me to answer a couple of questions to make sure that my avatar is still current?
Mm-hmm.
They get on that call. They give me their pain points. I know exactly what I can do to sell them. Don't usually sell them in that call. I'll give them value. Be like, you know what? I might have the answer to the solution. Does this sound like it works? And then I say, look, I only promised you, I promised you it'd be 10, 15 minutes. Would you like to set another call and discuss how to fix that problem? Or would you like to talk about it now? Sometimes they'll ask to talk about it now. Other times they'll ask for you to schedule that time. But most of them say, yes, no, please help me solve this problem that I just opened up and bared my heart about.
And you have been respectful of their time. You have done what you said you're going to do. It's the I mean what I say and I say what I mean. And by the way, this was the thing I thought you were going to say earlier was the doing the client research, finding different ways to do that and learning about your avatar, learning about their not only you'll get to the specific business, but if you learn about their industry first and or do this tactic you're talking about, you can do this in other places. You can do this on Facebook too. You can go into Facebook groups that circle around your client avatar and just take the posture of, I'm there to learn.
Yep.
I'm there to, I'm not going to sell you anything. I mean, if you want to talk about that, we'll talk about that. But I'm really here to ask questions, and I'm here to learn, and I want to understand your business because that helps me do mine.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
you will be absolutely amazed if people are willing to learn, what will and give people a chance, without selling them, what will come out of that. Side quick example, if I can. Church I was going to started a Spanish service, and mostly it's in English, but then they have a Spanish service going. So and they that group kind of does their thing on the one side of the building. Well, we were dealing with men's ministry. I was kind of helping as a part of the team doing this, trying to reach men everywhere. And so we had a guy who had recently joined our group, and he had just, kind of discovered his way in all this, and that there was really something more for him. And so he was really trying to learn and to do everything. So he said, you know what? I'm going to go to the Spanish service. I'm going to go check this out. So he was as English speaking, white, gringo as they come. He admits it. I mean, he says that's exactly what I was. So then he went to the service, and because he took the time and to learn and to listen and to do, I mean, they welcomed him with open arms. They had a great time. People sat there and would translate for him, quietly while somebody was speaking, because he didn't speak any Spanish. And it was just a fantastic experience because he took the time to enter their world, because he took the time to do something different, and made some good friends doing it. So,
and that's exactly what works for your agency. You need to come alongside, you need to ask questions, you need to answer questions, you need to give away free value. If someone asks you a question, just answer it in the comments. All right.
Exactly.
Introduce yourself, make yourself be a real person, and then they're going to trust you and they're going to come to you and get clients.
Yeah. If you're willing to learn, then others are willing to teach, and then it starts that relationship, and then all of a sudden you're providing each other's value, and you're in each other's world before you ever knew it, and in deeper and better and stronger than you might have in a straight sales relationship.
Yep. All right. Our next question is maybe about the current situation, or maybe a Q&A will be better. Well, this is the best option for my Q&A. If any of you guys watching want to jump in and write a question in the comments, we will get to that in a few minutes. The current situation, well, I can sum that up in like 2 sentences. Saying, hey, I can get you more clients, or hey, can you take more clients, won't work. It sums it up in about 2 sentences. There are so many different ways that you need to do it. Okay, you need to build yourself out as an authority. You need to build out your brand as somebody that knows exactly what they're talking about and is not a salesperson.
Right.
You need to have an omnipresence. You need to be seen as an expert by having influencers talking about you, by going live, by having your groups, by running masterclasses, by having invaluable content out there that nobody can question. That's what works. That's the current situation.
Exactly. And then something strange happens. They start seeking you out. Imagine for a minute, you're seeking leads, right? You're looking for prospects all the time. What would happen if they start looking for you? Exactly. Because you've been there so much, you've been providing such value. All of a sudden, people start messaging you. They email you. They try to find you and say, hey, I saw you on that live, or I saw the way you answered that question. Can we talk more about that?
And it feeds itself as well.
Exactly. It does.
It doesn't just give you clients. It gives you more and more opportunities for exposure.
You bet.
I started doing lives teaching people about digital marketing. It's what I did. Now I have clients coming to me saying, hey, you're teaching other people about digital marketing. Can you be my marketer? And then it went a step further, where there are these massive names out there who are now sitting inside my social media. They took time out of the incredibly busy day to just compliment me, or ask me if I wanted to join their platforms and talk to their leads and their clients and their customers. It feeds itself. It just snowballs. It really does.
It does. I mean, how amazing is that? I've done some of my prospecting and I've done well, but I got to say, I've started hanging around you guys and connecting with everybody here. I've now connected and changed my niche some, to be fair, to start dealing with digital marketers and coaches. Yep. But I am amazed every day at how much that snowballs and what kind of connections that brings you.
Yeah.
And I'm barely scratching the surface of it. You're much farther along, Sheena, and but it's all the same, because we're providing each other value, and maybe I'll learn something from them as much as they'll learn something from me. So it's amazing what happens.
And I don't want anybody here thinking that, oh, I need to get a big platform to get clients. That's not what I'm saying.
Nope.
It's not. I mean, I'm blessed to have platforms that I can use to get clients. I still run cold emails. I still pick up the phone and make phone calls. Yes, I'm blessed to have appointment setters who do things like that for me too, but I still do it too. I still sit there and send a message to somebody and say, hey, we spoke back in spring about your allergies. Now it's fall, another allergy season. I'm struggling. How are you doing? Okay.
Right.
I still do the hard work that needs to be done. The stuff that we already know needs to happen. It still needs to happen when you have this platform, but this platform makes it so much more effective because you're out there. People can find you. They feel like they know who you are. They trust you. They're gonna get on a sales call with you.
And they will find you. And it's still doing this. It's doing the simple things, not even the cold. I mean, yes, the cold emails and all too, but I still see you in answering, questions and comments of everybody, or referring. We've talked about at times, not so far tonight, but referring somebody else.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, I'm not good at that, but this person is. They are a specialist, and you need to look them up. I'll be happy to get you two together.
Yep. For example, I did that maybe 2 days ago. Somebody was in one of my groups that I built for my avatars that I could use to get clients. They said, hey, this is my niche. Does anybody know a good marketer? Well, sure, I could have done a good job. But this person, that's all they do every single day. And I know that if I give them that client's going to get the best service ever. So I go ahead and I recommend them. I say, hey, this person's name, I tagged them in it. He's the best person for you to talk to. Because I made a warm referral, I got a message from that person this morning saying, thanks, I got a client. All right.
Outstanding. Yeah.
So you go in there. If you don't personally know somebody, your group, there are over 90,000 people inside this group. Write a question, write a post. Say, look, guys, I'm looking for referral partners where I can send leads to you. You can send leads to me. Talk to them about the fact you're going to join groups. When somebody asks a question, refer them, and then they'll do the same to you. The chances of that person turning into a client is so much higher.
It's kind of a natural impulse. We want to give back to what was done for us, or we should. I mean, not everybody's that that scrupulous, but there are plenty that aren't, unfortunately. But there are plenty that are. You refer somebody, and business to somebody, and they almost feel obligated to refer somebody back to you.
Exactly.
It's kind of a psychological thing, but it works. And I won't get on the referral thing. Because that's something that I've seen the value of, and it is just amazing. Anywhere you can, that just helps that ecosystem spread. When you're already doing the hard work of what we've been talking about, and then you throw the concept of somehow, some way of referrals on top of it, it makes it spread like wildfire.
Referrals is one of the most powerful prospecting tools you can ever use. And you want to know more about it, honestly, guys, head to our YouTube. John goes live in there and he talks about referrals in a very, very powerful way, in a way that makes sense. It's very, very actionable, and it's going to show you how to get clients very, very quickly. Okay.
Yep. There's a referral right there. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know how easy that was, everybody? So everybody can do that. And if you see training someplace for somebody, even don't think just because, hey, I referred you over to this, that you're going to lose that person. You're not. It could start a conversation of, hey, that person you referred, that video you referred me to, I watched that and that was absolutely amazing. Or you can follow up a few days later and say, were you able to check that out? What did you think?
Yep. All right.
You start a conversation with somebody. Yep.
How to get international clients, not Fiverr or Upwork, please. Okay, I understand that. Fiverr and Upwork are not my favorites either.
They have their place, but
they do.
Yeah.
Multiple ways to do that. Run paid ads, right? If you're not in a situation where you want to run paid ads, then do email prospecting. If you are worried that you're in a country where you have a different accent and that might turn them off, which often happens when it comes to international clients, reach out to somebody who lives in that client. Voice talents, anybody. Find someone on Fiverr.
Yeah.
You know, you can find someone on Fiverr, you can pay them a very small fee, get them to record a 30-second message saying, hey, this is this person from whatever your agency's name is, agency head's name, asked me to give you a call and see if you're interested in following up on the email he sent you.
Yep.
Right?
Good idea.
Very
Great
effective way to get international clients while removing a lot of the barriers that often come in place when you're trying to get international clients. Now, I understand it. I'm very blessed that my accent seems to be accepted in a lot of different countries, but I still come across difficulties all the time when I'm talking to prospects in the UK or even like Denmark. I had a conversation with a prospect in Denmark the other day,
Really?
and our barrier was definitely there. So, yeah,
Okay.
hire somebody in that country to record a very short MP3, put it inside your CRM, send out voicemail drops.
That's it. That's it.
Yep. All right, the next one is Alfredo. He wants to know about vetting and hiring team players, and I responded to him. Oh, this is a fun one. I'll share some SOPs I use for hiring, and we'll be live in about an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. He says he can't see it. All right, I will
Uh-oh.
have to send him the link when it's
Send
done.
him the link to the. We got the direct link to the video, but let's talk about that for a second, if we can, just a brief second, because
Yeah, go ahead.
this is the tough thing. Is there's kind of two levels here. So, are you looking to have somebody that's actually on your team, that's as an employee, for one of a better term, or you're looking to bring? Well, there's really three levels. Somebody as an actual employee, somebody as an outsource partner, or somebody as a VA. There's to me, that's three different levels, and they're similar in their approaches. Obviously, the employee, you really want to spend some time vetting there before you commit to them, and you really want to get that comforting feeling. But I think it's a lot of things. So let's switch around and go to the VAs for a minute. I mean, how do you, what is there anything that sort of breeds, and you should pay attention to your gut, and a little research on them never hurts anything, as best you can do it. It's hard sometimes, but then how would a VA who really could be a fit, how would they show you credibility as somebody who's hired some VAs before? How would they show you that they are what they say they are, and that they're credible, and that they're trustworthy and all that?
Yeah. Well, I have a couple of points, and this is what I teach my students inside the Atlas Agency Launch Tab when they're hiring a team. Number one, hire a specialist. Okay. It's a very oversaturated world of marketing, and it's become very difficult to get genuine talent. If you check out a Go High Level Facebook group, you're going to find an infinite number of people express that they are genuine talent. So you really need to make sure that you are hiring a specialist, not somebody who knows it all or somebody who's good at everything.
Right.
Find out the parts about Go High Level that they're super, super good at. Find out the parts about social media that they're super, super good at. If they're a media buyer, find out which platform they really excel at, because it's not easy to be a jack of all trades anymore. Digital marketing is incredibly fast paced, and it's a constantly changing environment. So it's really unrealistic to think that one person is going to be fully knowledgeable about all the different parts that make up digital marketing. So make sure you hire a specialist. Number two
before you go to number two, I have a real world example for that. I was kind of that in all aspects of business. I was kind of that jack of all trades. I was kind of that person who, my background was in IT, but I'm not a programmer. I'm not a server administrator. Can I do it? Sure. But there are better people who live server administrator duties all day, every day, and they're very good at it. So I knew a little about a lot of things instead of a lot about a few things. And so even in marketing, when I got into marketing first, it was kind of the same thing. And so what I've had to learn, somewhat painfully over time, is that specializing really does make that difference. I mean, when you, and some of us, we're trying to be that. So everybody, but what we forget is we're good at something. We're good at a few things, maybe. We're not good at everything. And if we stop trying to be good at everything, mediocre at everything, and go back to being good at those few things, you can make those few things stand out because you put more effort into it now with the new tools and the new learning that you find. and it makes a big difference.
Yep.
It does.
All right.
So number 2.
Yep, step number 2, and I know we're running out of time, so I'm going to have to be a little quicker than I have been, but number 2 is ask unique questions and really, really listen to the answers, okay? Don't just say, where do you see yourself in 5 years, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You really want to know how they think, and you want to know how they analyze. So throw them some unconventional questions that really get to the core of who they are, and then test their skills by giving them a task related to the potential job, because the way they think, the way they analyze is going to play into an awful lot of how expectations are met, because you might express expectations in one way and expect it to be heard this way, but it's going to be heard an entirely different way and be done a different thing. So when you go to hire somebody, you really need to know how they think and analyze. Step number 3 is know who you are looking for in a hire. Okay, it's really, really easy to forget that it takes skill and deep knowledge to be an effective marketer. So you need to explore options like getting some additional training in hiring, or consulting with professionals in the industry who can help guide you through this decision. So you need to know the pain points of your agency. You need to see exactly how a potential can provide your agency and its clients with the solutions it needs. And just because you aren't hiring a full-time employee, it doesn't mean that you can afford to go to anyone with a solid portfolio. In addition to quality work, you need to seek out freelancers who are reliable, honest, ambitious, and available. Do due diligence, ask for references, and trust your gut. All right?
Exactly.
If you don't feel confident doing that, ask somebody you know and trust to get on that call with you and help you hire them, or hire a white label agency. They already have somebody managing that team. Okay.
Which kind of circles around to the second group there, the outsourcers. I mean, marketing is wonderful for outsourcing, for white labeling, for even a collaboration, coming together for one collaboration and being done without everybody getting into a whole deep contractual relationship that gets lawyers involved in anything else. So like you were saying, if you don't have that HR expertise, pull it in.
Yep. And that brings to my step number 4 is, use an existing senior team member or hire somebody who's really, really good at their job to partner with you during the interview process. Just because you're asking for help or you're feeling unsure, it doesn't mean that you're incapable of making important decisions.
Right. They may validate what you're already thinking, but exactly that second opinion. Yeah.
Some of the top digital marketing agencies in the world bring in senior team members and even the candidates themselves to get multiple perspectives. It ensures that everybody's on the same page and agrees to the best person for the job.
Okay.
All right. Tip number 5, I've got one more after this one, is offer remote work. Offer remote work. You don't want to get somebody who's going to come into office every single day, most of the time.
Yeah.
It might feel a little bit intimidating, but it's going to save you time. It's going to save you money. And if you're unsure about hiring a remote worker, considering hiring them on a freelance basis or a per project basis first to ensure their quality of work as well as their work ethic.
That's a good way to do it, is to make sure that they're you give them that sort of test, but it's also you pay them for that work and you get quality out of it, hopefully.
Yep. And then step number 5, hire a contractor. Don't hire an employee.
There is that.
Yeah. I mean, it feels
anymore,
like
yes.
said, but sometimes, it helps things click if someone says it again. In the marketing world, independent contractors are readily available for hire. Agencies and other businesses often find that they're more cost-effective, flexible, and useful.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Where that was exposed to me was sales. To bring somebody on a contract basis to do your sales closing for you. Yeah.
All right. I mean, if you guys need more in-depth things like which exact questions to ask somebody that you're going to be hiring, things like that, I do have those lists available to my students inside the Atlas Agency Launch Lab. So if you're interested in becoming a member of the Atlas Agency Launch Lab, let me know and we'll have a conversation about that.
For sure.
Before we wrap things up, guys, we have, as I said, stick around. We have an awesome opportunity for you. We have a platform, an opportunity for you guys to get those clients, get 100, 200 or so leads a month, and really, truly set yourself up as an expert, have influencers talking about what you're doing, and get videos that you can use on your YouTube, your LinkedIn, all those places where your ideal clients are hanging out. So I'm going to step away for a second to find exactly what it is and show you guys.
I have it if you want me to share it. I think I can pull it up.
Yes, please, John.
Going where I think you're going here.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk about it while I do that? Just share a little bit more and take me just a second.
All right. So, as I mentioned at the very beginning of this, guys, I am the co-creator of Atlas Agency Launch Lab. It's my baby. I built it out. I'm very, very blessed to have 4 other agency heads who are so involved. They have contributed to modules. They sit with my students. They provide value that I couldn't even dream of. So that's kind of who I am. But where that birthed from is my agency, Atlas Online Solutions. We've been around for about 5 years now. And because this is who I am, I have a lot of different platforms and Facebook groups available. Mm-hmm. And because I have these platforms doesn't mean that you guys shouldn't be able to have them too. So I've already put in the hard work. John and I have been utilizing these groups. We've been nurturing these groups. These are groups that people really, really want to hang out in. And now you guys can hang out in them too. Go live in them. Get yourself some leads, get yourself some prospects and everything else. Now, the reason this is so important, so let's talk about it for 1 second. 3% of any audience is ready to buy right now. So instead of getting 3 clients this month because you spoke to over 100 prospects, you could speak to thousands of prospects that fit your ideal avatar right now and get 30, 300. Let's see how far we can push that barrier. So if you're sitting here and you're thinking about, hey, where do I get more clients? Where do I get my perfect people? How do I reach a bigger audience? Everything else. Well, we kind of have the answer. So John wants to scroll right down and show us the options that we have.
Okay.
Let's talk about them.
We're going through some other things here, but we're presenting this under, this is the service that we're going to offer, and this is everything about it, the points that she's making, but what she's really looking for is this right here.
Yeah. So we have 4 different options for you guys. You would like to create a sales letter, an advert, a short video clip. Now, if you want it to be most effective, keep it under 30 seconds or 90 seconds at the very, very most. Talking about your ideal avatar's pain points and exactly the service that you have to offer to solve them. You can create that ad, and I will pin it and feature it in the top of one of my groups for 72 hours. All right. And remember, 33% of that audience is ready to buy right now. Mm-hmm. You can use this to grow your groups. You can use this to grow your email list. You can use this to grow your following. This will be an advert that I or John have pinned at the top. We are trusted. They know that they trust us. So we're kind of giving a nod for what you're doing, and people will want to talk to you. All right.
Exactly.
Option number 2 is a podcast style plan. So I keep talking about going live. I keep talking about having platforms and building out your groups and everything else and having YouTube. And if you're sitting there going, Sheena, do you know what? I don't want to sit in front of a camera. I don't know what I'm doing. I have the perfect answer for that one. That's a podcast plan. Zachary Kennelly is 1, my dear, lovely husband and business partner, but 2, the founder of a podcast style live, where he gives set questions that you can view beforehand. You can approve. You can say, please don't ask me that question. You can come up with the answers to those questions, and then he will go live with you. That recording will be available to you to use wherever you want now for a very short amount of time only. Those podcasts are also being uploaded to our YouTube channel, and you guys can upload them to your YouTube channel, and in the future will be used for podcast material that people will be able to download. So
an actual podcast at that point. And this is not a hostile, just to underscore the point, this is not a hostile interview. If there's a question he doesn't ask, that you want him to ask, he will ask it. This is designed to elevate you and do it in a way that's a short format question and answer thing. So it's very, very easy.
In fact, one of the questions he asks is, hey, is there any question you wish I asked that I didn't ask? That's literally one of the questions he asks.
Yes.
We will pin your socials. We will pin your sites. We will pin your funnels. We will do all of those things. This is the service that we offer to our Atlas Agency Launch Lab students, and it's now available to you. So if you would like to be part of a podcast, that's available to you. The next one is kind of a step up, and it really, truly, instead of just showcasing your agency and your service, showcases you as that expert. All right.
Yes.
So John and I will go live with you for 1 hour. We will be on the live with you. We'll talk back and forth just like John and I do. And if you notice, John is very, very good at filling in the blanks. And I'm like, oh, okay, I got to go do this. John picks up right where I left off and nobody notices.
And believe it or not, I know when to shut up whenever it's time to do that. So it's either way. I mean, we're sounding boards back and forth. I used to tease Sheena when we talked about first, going on live, and we seemed to work well together. I said, okay, I'll come on there and be your straight man. I'll be the one that, that laughs at all, the Ed McMahon of the thing, for those who remember the Tonight Show in the United States.
Yep.
The one who laughs at the jokes, or, carries the conversation, or does, side pieces to help prompt what the host is doing. That's the role we're here to play. But again, it's to elevate your business and make it something that is, that really, really will help you pop and stand out when you need to. But this is a different style format, right? Than the podcast.
Yes, it's a very different style format. So we call it a coaching live. So what will happen is you guys will come up with a topic that you feel confident talking about, and you will decide, you know what, I'm going to come and I'm going to give value. So it's a value-driven one. You'll be teaching the audience something that's going to set you up as an expert. We send you an email. We say, look, send us a quick email detailing quick bullet points, the topics that you want to cover, and then bring along your slides. If you want to share your screen during the live, anything else, bring them along. We will help them be up and ready for you. We will be there on the live with you. We will help fill in those things. And you know what, guys? John's literally one of my favorite person to go live with. He really, really is. In fact, he will tell you, I'll be like, hey, I'm going live in an hour. Can you come?
Sure, why not? But it's and the live will look something like this, like you see with us. I mean, there'll be a little different, there'll be your logoing, just more ways to promote you. And so there you are. You've been following our advice. You've been contributing answers. You've been, looking at people and showing up, and then all of a sudden you show up on video. Wow. Big deal.
And then just to make that even more special, guys, we're going to pin it to the featured section inside the group for 72 hours. And we will use @everybody while you're live, so that everybody inside that group gets notified that you were there. And we will list your socials. We will list your funnels. We will promote your offer. And that will help you get clients. Now, the next one is the VIP access. It's not for everybody. But if you have an offer, you have a really good offer, you know that you have really something to contribute to these live, and this is the one for you. You'll be joining John or myself for a tutorial style live in 2 different groups simultaneously. So we will stream you to 2 different groups, and we will then upload the recording of your live to our YouTube channel with linked socials and funnels. This is really, really, truly going to set you up as an expert. You're going to have been in multiple different groups.
Right.
We will have pinned the post in the featured section for 72 hours. We will have used @everybody in both of those groups. Right. And then just to sweeten the deal a little bit, I'm not going to leave you hanging and say, okay, right, go live. I'm going to give you training in this one. So I'm going to train you on exactly how to turn Facebook groups into money. I'm going to give you my daily prospecting lists and tips and tricks, and teach you how to turn your time into money. And then lastly, I'm going to give you my sales training. That means that when you get appointments booked from this live, you know that you can turn up to that call with confidence, and you know exactly what to say and exactly what questions to ask, so you can turn that call into money. So this is your VIP access.
And you mentioned the YouTube channel. It's not a small YouTube channel. You get some audience on there, do you not?
We get about 16,000 views on most videos that we upload within 48 hours. So we get a lot of reach using that YouTube channel. We're very, very blessed to have somebody who works very hard on our YouTube SEO. In fact, one of the lives that we did just less than a week ago now shows up in the 5th ranked spot when people do a Google search related to that topic. So
Ooh, nice. I need to
Very
go
good
back and look. And
YouTube.
so I was looking at the channel today and looking at those. See, the thing about YouTube, you all probably know, is it's the magic is in the thumbnails and in the listing.
Yes.
This person does a phenomenal. I was looking at the thumbnails just in awe of it, going, wow, that is impressive looking.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He is extremely good at what he does, guys. And he would do exactly the same thing for you. So I would say, look, can I take your Facebook or your LinkedIn profile? Or if you don't want any of those ones, send me a photo we can use. It will be your photo on a beautifully created, unique thumbnail. You will have access to it. I will send you the recording of the live that you can do. You can share it. You can let people know that you've been on Atlas Agency Launch Lab website and YouTube channel. And it's really, truly going to set you guys up to succeed in your prospecting methods. Right?
Absolutely. So we'll show these just one more time, just for the for the sake of remembrance here. But this is a fantastic opportunity. I wish I had whenever I had kind of started this. So I mean, it's
Me too.
Really, well, and to show and you're talking about the value. This can maybe this is the thing that launches your Facebook group and LinkedIn. I mean, we don't necessarily mention LinkedIn as a posting platform at the moment, but guys, it's coming.
Oh yeah.
And it has the videos on LinkedIn have a tremendous view rate that's better than Facebook. So once we get that, handled and figured out, we'll come back and update this with LinkedIn possibilities. And it makes a big difference because people are watching videos, particularly business to business, B2B. They're watching them on LinkedIn.
Yeah. All right, guys. So the link to that funnel is inside the comments here. I will link it on this post. And when you guys are ready to launch your platform and really, really expand your reach, or if you just have a few more questions about it, I mean, as you saw when John scrolled past, there was a lot of text and there, a lot of information about who we are and what we do. We are, we aren't just any business saying this, guys. This is a service that's being offered by one of the, basically by the mother, Atlas Online Solutions, which is where all of our services are currently being run from. Right. And it is accredited by the Better Business Bureau with an A rating. So you know that you're in good hands when you choose to
see work if I can find where that was.
I think it's right down the very bottom.
There it is. There we go. Sorry about that. I was a little slow on the uptake there, but
no,
yes,
that's fine.
By their A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, and
the other thing is, guys, it has a golden seal by Atlas Agency Launch Lab, which not very many agencies get. We don't hand them out just to everybody. So yeah. If you want to get some exposure, let us know. We will take you by the hand and we will help you get there.
And depending on your expert area, I mean, we're Atlas Agency Launch Lab is bringing out students all the time who have needs and who have clients who have needs. So if you're trying not to be that jack of all trades as much, even as an agency, you're trying to specialize some. Maybe there's or some subset of your agency. Maybe there's some business can be done together.
Yeah, I have a student actually right now who next week we're sitting down together and finalizing the questions that she'll be answering because she is putting together a team. She is putting together a team of technical expert people, prospecting people, client relations people. She's really, truly putting together a very well-rounded team for her agency. And the people that she is building that list from is people that I know, people I've interacted with, people that are inside of my groups. And people that have been on these podcast style lives and tutorial style lives, guys. So this really is going to give you reach almost immediately to people that are actively hiring right now or outsourcing right now. So
or have availability for work too. Yeah,
exactly. So it won't just build your agency. It will help increase your cash flow while your agency's brand is building.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, guys. So that's it for now. I will be back beginning of next week to talk about a couple more things, including exactly what is this Atlas Agency Launch Lab that I keep talking about a little bit. And we will get some more of those questions answers. In the meantime, guys, I really loved the fact that when I came live tonight, I knew exactly what you wanted to hear about. I'd love to do many more lives where all I do is answer your questions. So put your questions in there. Tag me in it. All right, I will see your things. If I don't answer straight away, guys, because I'm a little bit busy, but I will get the answer to you within 24 hours. Or I'll tell you, do you know what? We'll cover that in the live. So I will see you guys beginning next week. And if you want to see us before then, have a look at some of the other groups that we manage and that we go live in, and you'll find lots more information about us. And don't forget our YouTube channel.
Or I was going to say, or look us up on YouTube. I mean, there's a lot of videos there that will occupy your time for a while. So with good things.
Yep. All right, guys. We'll talk to you again later. Bye.
Have a
Thank
good
you for
one.
joining
Thanks
us.
for watching.